Okay, I'm live. We're going to try this again. Which may be one of the shortest live streams I do. Welcome to Book Talk, Cody Seandall. I am the author that you know. I'm the author of six, soon to be six published novels. Number six is coming out April 18th. I am, if you can see, at Vanderbilt Hospital. This is my hospital room. Um, I'll go through that really quick. I have tongue cancer, and it's making it harder for me to talk and harder for me to eat. And it's gotten to the point where I can't eat anymore. So they are they try to do an outpatient surgery to give me a feeding tube, but they couldn't book it until like March 19th. And I was starved to death by then. So they had to admit me to the hospital, and I'm going to get it tomorrow morning. So I'll have surgery in the morning, and hopefully I'll get out in a few days. So the tongue cancer, it's in the lower base left of my left tongue. My left tongue. I only have one. The left side lower base. I'm rushing because every time I get started, I thought I was done, but like every time I get started, someone comes exploding into the room with medication or food, which is wonderful. If you have cancer, Vanderbilt is one of the best places to be. Um, anyway, I'm gonna live. I have to go through treatment, chemotherapy, and radiation, but it should knock it out, and I'll be fine this summer. So we got that aside. I'm gonna make this quick. I just got done reading Ben Kane's Napoleon Spy. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. Let me bring this up here. I'm a fan of Ben Kane. I'm also a Facebook friend of his, and we've interacted a few times. And nice guy. He's been very supportive of me, and I am supportive of him. Even before I started writing, I was a fan of his, and I was reading, getting his books from the library, and reading them, and then buying them. Most Ben Kane is mostly known for writing Roman books, but he has since moved into Vikings, and he's got this one Napoleon uh, novel. And I will say before we get started that no, that he himself has said that uh, he did not come up with the title; his publisher did, and so it's really about a British guy who's spying, who's embedded with Napoleon's army marching into Russia, who is spying on the Russians, or I'm sorry, spying on Napoleon on behalf of the British government and the Russians. But they thought the title Napoleon Spy would be better. Hopefully that's not someone coming in. I swear to God, I feel like I'm in prison here. Every like 2 minutes, someone is in my room taking blood from me or something. All right, so here we go. Ben Kane takes you on the march to Moscow with Napoleon and his armies. This is the first person narrative from the vantage of Matthew Carey, a degenerate gambler from Kent whose debts drives him into an ill advised endeavor that leaves him stranded in France, penniless and labeled a traitor and murderer by the British crown. But Carey is half French and uses his nearly native French tongue and familiar relations to start a new life in Paris, but his old ways pull him back into the gambling salons, and soon in trouble again. God, I have way too much saliva. Blackmail, blackmailed into service, the only way to save himself and to clear the name and spare the innocent uncle, clear his name and spare the innocent uncle whom he dragged into this mess, is to agree to spy for Britain as one of Napoleon's messengers. I really enjoyed the first act. Ben Kane did a fabulous job of selling how the rogue goes from being stranded in France to marching in Russia with Napoleon and his Grand Army, all while serving the British crown. It's a great setup, and I was in for the ride. I enjoyed the character Matthew. I enjoyed the character. Matthew is not some biggest, thickest who's stronger, taller, and smarter. like a gambler in making his decisions and has a little devil speaking in his head, goading him into making all the wrong ones. The rest of the book, the rest of the story follows. I'm sorry. The rest of the story of the rest of the book. Can't even read my own writing. The rest of the book is because I can't speak. The rest of the book tells the story of Napoleon's march to Moscow, with battles such as Borodino and the retreat from the Russian winter, in which hundreds of thousands died. This was told through Matthew's eyes as he witnesses and participates in a series of events. He has an ongoing feud with a French hussar, which results in multiple duels. There's also a love interest he feels compelled to save, raising the stakes and the drama for our gambling man. The book ends rather abruptly after the last in a series of ordeals Matthew must face to survive the brutal march home. It makes me almost wonder if there's a sequel, although the Battle of Berezina, Matthew's last challenge, is the last major battle in the campaign. Whether Napoleon Spy is book one of a series or a standalone novel, it's an entertaining adventure with a likable protagonist that puts you in the action of Napoleon's disastrous campaign in Russia. Check out uh, Ben's book here. That's what it looks like. This is the cover. And then, of course, here's the preview for mine. It's only 99 cents or whatever that is in your country. If you buy it before it comes out, it's going to be $4.99. And, of course, here is the preview for my novel. And I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to remove this. And there's Brian Riley. So Brian says, good to see everyone pulling for you, Cody. Yeah, I really struggled over whether I wanted to make it public or not, but I'm glad I did because I've gotten a lot of support. And to be honest with you, I needed it. I wanted to hear from people. And, it's great people from all over the world that I know, the people in my life that have, from all different phases of my life, have wished me well. And that really does help. Here's Ben Kane's. I'm going to pull up. Oh, I don't have it anymore. Oh, I can still do it. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'll pull this one up here. Share screen. Yes. So here's Ben Kane's book right here. My review isn't up yet, so there's still, but it's got 855 ratings. Or I'm sorry, 4.2 stars with 855 ratings. That's pretty good. And it's ranking 434,000 right now. Yeah, my review is not up at the moment. Okay, so we've done that. Let's move on. The next thing I'm gonna do. Actually, I got a new one kind of squeezed in. So my friend my friend Matthew Harvey. I did a review for his book Dark Frontiers, which he published through his commercial publisher. But he wrote a novella based on one of the characters in that book, and he published that one independent. So he reached out to me today, and he was like, "Hey, you want something to read while you're in the hospital?" But I know, I know Matthew. He's what he really wants is some 5-star reviews to help him kick off, and I'm there for it. I'm a good friend of his, and I mean we're good Facebook friends. But I will tell you this: he sent it to me. It's a novella. I think it's probably about 20,000 words. I started reading it, and it is very, very good. I shouldn't be surprised. Matthew is a great author, very well known, very popular. And I've read the first 4 chapters. I'm like, this is fantastic. So I'm going to be reviewing that for Matthew. And I'm not even faking it. It's 5 stars already. It's fantastic. Great writing. I thought it was something interesting. So Matthew is British, and he wrote a Western in which a British man goes to the Wild West and has an adventure. And it worked. It made sense. And it was written in third person, which is how I prefer writing and reading. And he wrote this one, it's called something about every man has to die or something like that. But it's written from the point of view of one of the American characters, this old gnarly old gunslinger that helps the British guy in the novel. And in the novella, he wrote it in first person from this old cowboy's perspective, and there was something really magical about it because through it, Matthew was able to kind of shed his Britishness and really take on that voice. So, like, what I guess what I was trying to say is that I typically don't like first person narratives. By the way, Ben Kane's Napoleon Spy is first person, but I still enjoyed it. But I realized that once Matthew wrote in this first person of this old, craggy old cowboy from the Wild West, I could feel him shedding off his Britishness and really, really nailing the voice, really giving you a sense of how an old cowboy would write something. So I'm really enjoying this novella, and I'll probably have a review for it next week. Hopefully, I won't be in the hospital. Um, Other than that, so I'll be writing that review. I'm also reading uh, John Delarose's The Stars Entwine. Now, John Delarose is a YouTuber, and he's kind of controversial. He's very opinionated. And I'll tell you right now, most of his opinions I don't agree with, but I find him entertaining, and I like him because he's an advocate for independent authors. And so one of his books was 99 cents, so I thought I'd give it a go because I listened to a lot of his videos, and it's really good. It's a space opera, and it's about Earthlings warring with some other race, and it looks good. I'll have that review probably in a few weeks. And then as far as myself, we're just working through editing the French Fiasco. I'm really happy with it. I'm editing part 4. My mother has part 2, and Laura has part 3, and we're just kind of rotating through them. That's coming out April 16th. It's only 99 cents or whatever 99 cents is in your country if you buy it before it comes out. Once it comes out, it's going to be $4.99. So I'm going to cut it short because it's only a matter of minutes before someone comes bursting through that door to give me pills or to take my blood. And also, it's, as you can tell, it's very difficult to talk. So I love you guys. If you have an author out there that you really care about, not only should you buy that person's books, but make sure you give them 5-star reviews and write a few lines if you can. It doesn't have to be as long as mine, but just like, hey, I really liked it. Couldn't put it down. That's perfect. All right. Hopefully, I'll see you. I'm going to try to do this every week as I go through the cancer. I swear to you, it's not just Cody Has Cancer show, but I do think it's kind of interesting to mark how I am progressing. I'll tell you this. One of the reasons I'm being hospitalized is because I lost 8 pounds over the course of a week, and it's from not being able to eat. And so they thought it was important. They couldn't get me into outpatient, but I'm basically going to be operated on tomorrow in the emergency room because that's the only way they can get it done. All right. Take care. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.